Doing my best. Hey,
True enough.
Gruber,
All
have
right.
a great weekend. I'm going to take Notre Dame over the team that beat your Michigan Wolverines last weekend. They're playing USC. Group of spoiled children or something. Something to that effect.
University of Spoiled Children.
University of Spoiled Children. All right, so I'll take Notre Dame, lane 9.5. All right, folks, Friday, 4 p.m., market is closed. Big day today. Early in the morning, late last night, and early in the morning, market was crashing. It was down 300 or 400 points in the Dow. That was based on some bank earnings. A couple of auto parts makers bankruptcies pulled the whole markets down, and look what happened. Massive rebound during the day. Dow up 238 points. Nasdaq had a nice rebound. It was down 400 points early in the morning as well. Up there. I don't know what's going on. Well, oil bounced a touch today, up 11 cents only, but 57.5. Not a bad area. We love under 60. Gold backed off $83, $63 a share. I'm sorry, still $4,200. Again, just off of all-time highs. And this one I just am not understanding. There's something going on in the crypto market. I think there's some big players who are getting hurt in cryptocurrency across the board. I keep seeing these big washes down, and it feels like there's some heavy players who are getting carried out, probably losing a lot of money, waiting for that to end. And I do believe in Bitcoin going the long haul. Bringing Senator Ron Johnson of the great state of Wisconsin. He's here with us today. Welcome, Senator. We're going to talk a little bit about the Schumer shutdown. We're week 3, and you say all the Democrats have to do is vote for the clean CR and government can open in an hour or even 2. Why do you think they are refusing to do this? Yeah, I'm hearing that they want to wait until after October 18th, which is the next No Kings protest. Could the Democrats really be holding out for a protest? Is that likely to happen?
I mean, my guess is they can always count on the legacy media supporting them. And so they remain pretty arrogant, pretty confident that they seem to be winning the messaging war here. It's completely unreasonable. I mean, all we're talking about is a clean continuing resolution at Biden's spending levels. They voted for those. Their counteroffer, again, that continuing resolution would take us up to the beginning of Thanksgiving. Their counteroffer was a 4-week CR, and they'd be asking $1.5 trillion of additional spending. Just a mere $1.5 trillion. So it's completely unreasonable. But as I said, they are pretty arrogant in their feeling here. Now, unfortunately, these shutdowns never play out fairly. Even though they voted for these funding levels, they voted for clean CRs all the time. That's what they would always talk about if one of our members kind of forces into a short-term shutdown. But now they're completely hypocritical and saying the exact opposite things that they said in the past, and the press doesn't hold them to account.
So, Senator, work through this with me. And I'm speaking for a lot of my audience members over the history of my career. I'm libertarian. I'm for smaller government. No offense. I just think we can do better with our own money than government can do for us. Here's my issue. In 2019, when COVID hit, Trump was president, and he increased spending to help basically save the world and do what he could do. Obviously, you have to spend more money with an emergency pandemic such as COVID. So he said, here's another, I think, $2 trillion he spent just to make sure people were able to survive, right? Things were shutting down. Got it. But it was supposed to be temporary. Biden comes in and not only makes that spending permanent, increases it another, trillion and a half dollars. And now you say that became the norm, the base. How does this increased emergency spending that you guys get become the new base? And we're always spending more, and certainly spending more than we're taking in.
Well, you do have the phenomenon of the Uniparty here. We got big spenders in our party as well. But you're right. We went from $4.4 trillion of spending in 2019 up to 6.5 and never looked back. This year we'll spend over $7 trillion. And by the way, just average deficits. Let me give you a quick little history. So George Bush in his 8 years, average deficit of $250 billion. That was a lot of money back then. We were all outraged by it. Then Obama came in with the Great Recession. For his first 4 years, averaged almost $1.3 trillion in deficits. That sparked the Tea Party movement. I'm part of that. We put restraint on him. He averaged $550 billion in deficits for his last 4 years. Trump took office, had Democrats he had to deal with in the Senate. That average went up to 810. Then the year of COVID is a $3.1 trillion deficit. And you're right, we should return to reasonable pre-pandemic levels of spending, right? So somewhere, again, with inflation, probably would have been higher than 4.4 trillion, but I'd put together pre-pandemic levels of spending somewhere between 5.5 and 6.5, depending on what year you pick. Instead, Biden continued to spend at those levels. We averaged deficits of $1.9 trillion. So we went from 550 under Obama, 810 under Trump, COVID 3.1, and then we average 1.9. There's no justification for it. But part of the problem is the 535 board directors here in Congress, that's what we really are. Many didn't even know how much we spent in total.
Right.
Because we only appropriate 25% of the budget. 75% is on automatic pilot. And by the way, it's a lot more than just Social Security, Medicare, and even Medicaid. There's $1 trillion of other mandatory spending. Pretty well every appropriation category that's undiscretionary, but they've just chosen to, the big spenders here have chosen to call that mandatory. So it's never looked at. It's out of control.
Yeah. And so we sit here and go, you guys are fighting over additional trillion in spending, likely earmarked towards healthcare, and a lot of illegals would be tapping into that. Republicans say no, and it's almost like, okay, you're going to get something there, and everyone in DC is going, oh, we did it, we negotiate, the process is working, except as you point out, spending went up another, and we I don't know, for whatever reason, memorialized the $1.5 trillion or $2 trillion that Trump put in there to temporarily save the economy as a baseline. It's crazy. And it's like, we're the clowns here are going, oh, great job. Now we're spending $7 trillion, taking in $5.5 trillion.
So I've often said, it appears to be dysfunctional here, and it is, but this is a well-honed process by the part of the Uniparty. Again, I offered an Eliminate Shutdown Act. Again, we voted on that. Every Democrat voted against it. It's a very simple bill. All it does is it establishes automatic, continuing, rolling appropriations. That's it. We just every 2 weeks, you just get another continuing appropriation until you get an appropriation bill for that department. Again, there's no advantage there. It just doesn't shut the government down. Spends at last year's level. Not only did all Democrats vote against it, but our appropriation chair lobbied against it with her committee. So we had, I think, 12 Republicans vote against that as well. Go figure. Again, they love using the shutdowns. Again, I'm not real nuts about the CR that ends right before Thanksgiving, because that's part of the pressure point. So this is how the Uniparty does it. They put these deadlines right before, let's say, Christmas, and then they drop a 2,000-page omnibus spending bill that nobody's read. Nobody will read it other than the few people who wrote it, slip all kinds of things in there, and just kind of dare you, vote this thing down, and, we'll ruin your Christmas. And enough people always cave on our side, and that thing gets passed, and we're $37 trillion in debt. So this is a well-honed process, totally dysfunctional, totally out of control, mortgage our kids' future, but that's what we've got.
And very quickly, sir, about a minute or so, we're 3 weeks in. What's the one thing? How do you grease the wheel to get government reopened? I honestly, personally, I say stay shut down, but that's me. So what's it going to take?
Eric, I'm kind of with you. I would say right now in Wisconsin, people aren't really noticing this because it's being managed by a Republican president who's trying to make it painless. When Republicans are kind of more responsible for a shutdown, and we're not this time, Democrat president will always make a shutdown unbelievably painful to the American public. That's not what's happening right now. So the problem is, I think the military at some point in time will run out of pay, air traffic controllers. It's one of the reasons I've proposed the Shutdown Fairness Act. If you're going to stay shut down, okay, fine. I don't have a real problem with that. But at least let's pay the people we are forcing to work. It's only fair. Right. And we'll see what becomes of that.
Yeah. I tell you what, to pull the congressmen and senators pay, if you may. And I know you're donating your paycheck, which is admirable. But it's when the people who make the decisions start wondering when the next paycheck is coming that they tend to get their act together. Senator, really good to have you on. I appreciate your time, sir.
Have a great day.
Senator Ron Johnson, great state of Wisconsin, especially those Packers. Extension deadline may have passed, but for millions of Americans, the real trouble is just beginning. If you missed the October 15th deadline or owe back taxes, the IRS ramping up the enforcement against you likely right now. Every day only makes you want things to go better, but they get worse. And here's the harsh reality. The IRS can charge a penalty of 5% per month, up to 25% of your total tax bill just for not filing. That's in addition to what you already owe. The good news, there's still time for Tax Network USA to help. Self-employed or business owner, doesn't matter. Even if your books are cooked, they're a mess. They've got you covered. Tax Network USA specializes in resolving financial chaos and getting you back on track fast with tools like property seizures, bank levies, and wage garnishments. That's right, they can take your property. They can take your property and sell it. Think about that. The IRS is applying pressure at levels we haven't seen in years. It's not too late to regain control. Your consultation is always 100% free. In one short call and a few simple questions, the experts at Tax Network USA can determine how much you can save. Call this number, 1-800-905-8000, or visit tnusa.com/RAV, tnusa.com/RAV. Let Tax Network USA help before the IRS makes the next move on you. Alrighty, folks, you guys are killing it with me. I adore this. I absolutely adore you. Take a look at this very quickly. I made a couple of charts. That's not it, but that's okay, close enough. We're growing 73 times faster than there it is, 73 times faster than the YouTube pages. You see that little yellow line at the bottom? That's a brand new YouTube page. We are 73 times faster. That's it right there. Beautiful job. Now throw the QR code if you don't mind, Ben. Just put that code up here and show people. Drop the banner. There you go. Here's what you do. You hit that screen, you hit your camera. Put your camera, face it towards that QR code. It'll come up, a little yellow button. You press the yellow button. You are subscribed. I will never charge you. I just need your subscription. I need your help. Help us grow. We're becoming a major player, the edge. It's amazing. It's something completely different. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. And thank you for subscribing. We'll be back 2.5 minutes.
For 250 years, they've stormed beaches, broken lines, and made history in blood and valor. From the black sands of Iwo Jima to the streets of Fallujah.
Get ready to move!
No enemy too strong, no mission too hard, no fight too far. This Saturday, Real America's Voice takes you to the heart of the Marine Corps legend. Hosted by Steve Bannon with Ben Bergquam and Amanda Head on the ground, joined by battle-tested veterans and military experts who live the brotherhood of the Corps. Explosive action, raw power, unshakable pride. This is Marine 250 from sea to shore. Coverage begins this Saturday at noon Eastern, only on Real America's Voice, because freedom wasn't given, it was earned.